The first job that you work with someone else, you're gonna stick with them forever. Do you have place for me? I can work for you for free, but I need your guidance, your experience. Because I did that. I work for people for free. So many projects. Don't be shy. Producer requires you to be an extrovert. When you release your work to the public, it's not your work anymore. It's everybody. So you need to be able to prepare yourself for any sort of comment feedback because you make your work available to everyone. Allow yourself to be blamed. Allow yourself to take critiques. Allow yourself to get so harsh feedback. Everything you have done in this career path, no matter how hard it is, no matter how less money you got, or maybe it's a free job, maybe it's the one that you volunteer. If you do that with passion, with love, with your maximum effort, it's gonna pay off for sure.
Today I forgot to tell you and for myself because I'm using the black background.
No, we're gonna keep light. It's okay. You can still see my shoulder.
Because it's a studio, like the Arjun, he bought the white background, but it was too small for this, so he was like changing the next week. So I forgot to tell, and even I forgot myself. So
This is the uniform of people in production.
Yeah.
If you see no matter how big or small the scale of the crew is, everyone is dressing in black. Like definitely in black.
Yeah.
You see I guarantee you 80% of the production crew will dress in black. I don't know why. This is the uniform.
I think in the production, if you're wearing orange or very bright green, if you accidentally got into the shot, it's very visible. The camera crew wearing green,
No, I beg your pardon. No. Yes, that's one of the things that could happen, but I dress brightly all the times, but the times that I don't want to think about what to wear, I go black.
I don't think
just
so. It's like a formal one.
Yeah. It's a uniform for production people.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Yes, such a busy one for you.
Yeah, a month. Yeah, we just wrapped the production you were in for Lunch Next Door. Yeah, a month ago.
Yeah. Are you satisfied so?
Yes, it's my baby, I think.
This is my producer, I would say.
Hi.
The one who gave me the chance to be in his project. So I'm very grateful for this. So today I invite him to be on this podcast. I will be interviewing some of his career, journey and the project that he has done recently. So would you please like to introduce yourself?
Okay. Should I look at you or should I look at the camera? Okay. Hi everyone listening to this. I'm Ernie. I'm producer currently working for WeTV, the application. We are a platform. So I'm currently producing TV series, and it's all gonna be about BLs, which is shortened from Boys Love. So I'm producing Boys Love series right now. Yeah, basically I'm a producer for I think 9 years. Yeah. Let me explain a little bit of the project that I'm doing with WeTV application. So we are OTT, is the platform, right? So we're basically producing it's called WeTV Original. The WeTV Original is basically first of all, for people, Netflix original. We producing our own 100% investment in the WeTV original lineup for the 2024 and 25, and 90% of the lineup are BL series. So we are all only producing series right now. So in the pipeline, we are producing around 6 BL series this year and 2024. And I'm producing for the 2024, I'm producing one series and maybe another one, I cannot tell you yet. But this one I'm currently producing, it's called Monster Next Door, ที่เขาบุกโลกของผม which is BL series, classic BL, sets in a university kind of background, and it plays in the trope of the opposite attract. The main couple that we use in the term of BLs is one is the extrovert guy and another one is the introvert guy. And then kind of gradually falls in love between as a neighbor between a blind concrete wall separate them at the balcony. So they have conversation at night, and then those differences just kind of gradually builds up into a budding romance and yeah, classic BL.
So can you tell about like how did you get this idea from the scratch? Because I heard that you also had to engage in writing too. So.
Yeah, that's a long story, but I'm going to tell you a little briefly about that. So basically, the series that we are doing in WeTV Originals, most of them are the adaptation of some existing IPs. So IP is intellectual property. So like first of all, like graphic novels, or maybe some other like media. So, but basically, most of the IPs we are sourcing is novel. So this Monster Next Door actually came from the novel IP called Godzilla Next Door. And it's a very, very popular novel, like some 6 years ago. It got like 2 million reads online, and it's really popular. And people are looking forward, like, oh, when this is gonna be adaptation, when is it gonna be released as a series? And then as WeTV, we bought that IPs. We bought that IPs. We bought that rights to make a series. And then when I came to the project, I have several IPs to choose from, and this IP stands out, and I think this is one of the greatest IP that I it came into my the pitching, and I think I'm gonna tell you briefly about the BL industry here. BL industry has been here for 9 or 10 years, and then it stemmed from the university trope. So it stemmed from college students falling in love, university students, and then in the past couple of years ago, it kind of branched out into more genres. It kind of branched out into mafia, fantasy, cops, and those kind of sciencey kind of stuff. And I think in this 2024, people would love to look back at the classic ones in the university trope. So people would love to see the fluffy kind of lovely love line story between two good-looking boys as a university students falling in love. I think that people would love, simple kind of
original,
romance drama, kind of thing like that. And this IP kind of fit that trope. So we chose to do that, and I'm producing the What's Next.
I can see that you're a busy person in the production. All the time. He's always working. So if there's conflict between the team members, and how do you manage?
Ooh, good question. How do I manage? Okay, so the thing is, what conflict are we talking about?
So especially within the upper lines, within directors, within the and how do you dominate your role as a producer?
Okay, dominate. It's such a strong word. I wouldn't use that. It's okay. Now I get what you mean now. You're on the right track of the question, of the answer that I would like to answer. So it's when you're a producer in the team, no matter how big or small the scale is, of the production, there's always going to be people who work in the upper line and then people who work in the lower line. The upper lines, we're talking about the director, the co-producer, the AD, and those kind of important people, key feature people, not more important than them. But the lower line is people who very essential to the production, we're talking about everyone else who's making this production feasible and doable. I think that's a different approach when the conflict happens. For me, when the conflict happens in the upper line, I think no matter what, it's gonna be the creative differences or minor arguments, or maybe oh, I don't like this color. The director said I'd like that color more, something like that. Or maybe scale up to the financial problem and everything. I think one thing that is my go-to is doing the compromise. I'm always gonna go with soft answer. I'm always gonna go with more kind of softer manner, I would say. A subtle, okay, calm down, people. Let's talk about this. There's no need to be. Just sit down. Do you want some water? We can figure this out. My mentality going to every conflict is I just want people to feel at ease first, and then let's talk about what's happening right now. And when we find to the roots of the conflict, I think if it's gonna be when we're talking about conflict, the blunt way of solving conflict is someone has to stepping down, right? Someone has to I give up. just do your shit. Right. So that's kind of the main kind of generalized kind of idea. But who's gonna be the one who's stepping down, right? Who's gonna be the one who give in first? So I'd like to be the host of that kind of situation, and I think I'm pretty good at that. So when people like, first of all, like you and me and another person have conflict, I would like to play the role of like, okay, let's see, let's roll the blueprint and see what's your problem here.
It's like being a bigger person.
Yeah, and then like, can you step down? Can I step down? Or can you step down? What's in it for us? And can I repay you back with something else? Can we go? It's a compromisation, like all of it is, like, you know, like yeah. So to make sure that I save your feelings well. And then to make sure that my choice it's not bad as well, and your choice of option is not bad as well. So I think like those conflicts like I always encounter. I think the best way to deal with it is just like to do the compromise. Because like you know like in this industry like it's such a small world, and you're gonna bump into each other again next project, and you're gonna bump into no matter what whoever you work with again for sure. I guarantee you. And then you don't want to have like a problem with them. Such a small conflict can turn into a really big feelings and big conflict at the end of the day. And I don't want that to happen. And then you're gonna keep that in mind that you're gonna see these people again in 5 years, in 10 years again, because this is such a small world in production in Thailand. So you don't want to like, I'm a big producer, I'm a producer from the platform, you need to do whatever I say because I'm the client. No, I wouldn't do that. So I'm gonna be the one like, okay, can you do that for me? If not, what other options do you have for me? But I'm not gonna sacrifice the quality for sure. That's the quality has to be the same. So before going into conflict solving, like you need to set the ground rule that we're not gonna lower our standards. We're not gonna lower our quality, and that the conversation after that is gonna be easier. But for the people in the lower line, if I can say like, that's gonna be another story of like conflict kind of approach. Sometimes you need to use the hard way. Like I mean, by hard way, it's like, I am the client, I need this way. You need to do what I say because like, if you give them options, it's gonna be more options for them. Like you know, like this is speaking from my experience. Like you know, like because they want to impress the director, they want to impress like if the conflict happens between someone who is really passionate, they're gonna he or she is gonna have like, I have so many options for you. I can do this, I can do that, or I cannot do this, I cannot do that. It's gonna be a really fussy and messy conversation if you do the kind of the softer manner with them. Like, okay, let's see the problems and what can we do. That's not gonna end in like in 10 minutes for sure.
You have to be very clear with what you want.
Yeah. Sometimes I need to switch to that client mode as well, like to talk with the lower line. Yeah. So it really depends on who are you talking to, but mostly I use the compromisation.
This is how you deal with problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know, like, the earlier story of your life. Like, how did you get into the industry? Like a little bit of your journey, and how did you get into this place?
Okay, do you have 10 hours? I'm sorry. It's really weird how I get into this. I'll tell you, this is a strange story, and I don't think people can follow my lead. I'm gonna disclaimer, not because I'm that like high outside. No, but this is strange ride. So stick with me. I graduated in engineering school from engineering school here. And then I didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I very much didn't like being an engineer. So
but you finished the school.
Yeah. Actually, this is the first time I'm gonna speaking this in public. I didn't finish schools like 4 years. I took a gap year and because I and that time I was so young and think like, oh, I didn't need engineering degree to do this because like while studying in engineering degree, like I always have some project that I kind of self-taught, like I mean photography or maybe like graphic design, something like that. So I kind of took a gap year and then I took on a job. Like firstly, I was a graphic designer in a really small company, and then it kind of gradually built up into something like bigger and bigger. And I thank you, mom, because like I got English skill. This thing got me going. So this language skill just kind of a really huge like a stepping stone for me from the get go, like from when I was young. And then I kind of shift into a modeling industry in some sort of way, like to do in the modeling agency we call this position a booker. A booker is basically the artist relation. So you are in charge of taking care of models in the house, and then you book job for them. That's called so-called booker, and then you're basically doing everything for them, like selling
like
models.
manager for them?
Yeah, manager for them. Like you would say that. So I've been doing that for a couple of years, and then the reason I have my peak interest in producing is like my former boss in this agency. She's had connection with NBC, with major news agency like NBC, ABC, or BBC from that, and she's been working with them as a local producer. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then I got an opportunity to kind of shadow her around, as a minions, like as a in Thai we call Jello Bay as a minion, so, and then
close to her.
yeah, because I got language and then I didn't know like what producer will be like, and then I can gradually kind of slips into
Like you didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that.
Just found out on the way.
Yeah. She asked me, "Do you want to be my like helper? Do you be my assistant for something?" Like, okay, I'll do it because it looks fun. And then a year later, like it's and I know how to be assistant producer because like I've been shadowing her for lots of projects, lots of plays, and that time is the time that I learned such really valuable lessons as a producer because like I'm starting off from being an assistant producer for news, for documentaries, for news and documentary, and that too of the media is I think up until now is one of the hardest one to produce because like when you are doing news you cannot plan the schedules, you cannot plan the breakdown, you only plan what you're about to do on that day, people you would like to interview and things that you would like to capture. And same goes to the documentary that because documentaries you have to tell the true story, right? So you can only expect that what kind of story you would get. And then those kind of areas kind of toughen me to be a really like a problem solver like kind of person because like anything can happen. Like I treasure those times that I was working as a news producer and a documentary producer because like I travel a lot and then there's problems everywhere, every day. I went to jail 4 times to do documentaries. I went to boxing camps out of nowhere. I went to the middle of the ocean. I went to if you remember the Mu Pa, the wild boars, the 13 kids that got stuck in the cave. I was there for a month, like camping in front of the cave, doing news for NBCs. So like before they could have a chance to get out, and after they got out, and those kind of stuff, like it's kind of give me the most like expensive experience ever in the entire life, and then that's why I learned from experience from producing, and then I got back to finish the degree of engineering. And then I think like I need something because I want to grow in this entertainment in this industry more like in entertainment industry. So I went to UCLA to do a short course of producing. Just a couple months. Yeah, I went to LA, like Los Angeles, and doing a short course just a couple months, and then and then COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came back here in Thailand, and then my dream was crushed because like no production house would open for me, no such like thing that I was planned. Like I mean, like I want to be a producer, producing movies and series, and like that was my pinnacle, my goal. Like oh, I already have some extent know-how of producing news and documentaries, and then I want to do something I really would really pursue, which is like
Neurobiological.
yeah. I would love to do Hollywood, like that's my thing, like series, movie, because I'm so into that from a very young age. But come back after COVID, the situation in entertainment industry section is not really good. Like I mean, production houses laid out people, like I didn't get any chance to even introduce myself, even go to the network, like kind of even to kind of I'm just getting back from Hollywood, like would you like to hire me? No, there's no such chance after COVID. And then I gotta like okay, well if I'm not getting a producer job in the series or movie industry, I might as well like have to shift into producing something else that give me money first because I cannot live like that. So I kind of got myself into a tech company who is currently like forming a YouTube channel, and they want me to be a producer of that new
contents.
the contents in that YouTube. And luckily, they gave me a really creative space and flexibilities and trials and errors and like that. So I got money to experiment, and I got time, I got like equipment, I got people, I got to be the team manager, I got to be the head of the content team, and I got to do whatever I want for this channel. And it turns out that this is one of the best experience I've got, again, because I've been doing this channel for 2 years, 2.5 years, and that channel got like I believe it's now it's like 120,000 subscribers already, and the views of each video is like more than 1 million, so something like that. So I got experience in doing short forms and like doing those viral clips and doing YouTubes and doing TikToks. And then I earned that know-how as well. So
like studying the audience.
Yeah, and I kind of like when you think of like you playing games, you are kind of add up your skills, and I think that's a similar of what I did. I mean, like I grew up from photography kind of area, and then I do a lot of like graphic design in my early days, and then and then I do 2 years of modeling, of managing people, doing bookings, and getting into that fancy side of entertainment industry. And then I do news and documentaries, and then I shift to do short form, viral clips, YouTube videos. And then right now I'm doing a huge ad series. So I think like up until this point, the experience that I've been gathered has been used at once. Like I like it's that's why I can supervise like in so many different aspects. So, in terms of like doing storytelling, I use like experience from my documentaries. I use my experience from the love that I have for Hollywood movies. From the people managing, the conflict manager that I use my experience in the era of my modeling world. The how to make the series good. I use my know-how in doing those kind of YouTube era. So that's kind of a really good way of me collecting those kind of skills, and then I use it here for my series. Yeah.
That got me a question. So, not like including me, like a lot of like younger stuff, like around 20 or like all the people are facing like to this day. People think, including me, like you need to be clear with your goal, and you need to be this, and then you need to be trying this. And in your story, I see that you let yourself try so many different things. Like having freedom to try different stuff until you finally found what you're really great for. So, what's your advice for those people, who need to who are like finding what they're good at?
Oh, really good question. I think I think the first thing that comes in my mind is like you need to be so resilient. Like you need to be so down to your roots first, because like I told you that I was in the engineering school for 4 years, more than that, and that I had a fight with my family. I had a fight with my mom. Like I don't want to do this anymore. So I stand my ground that I know what I want to do in a broad kind of idea, but I don't know exactly what I want to do yet.
But this is not what I want.
Yeah. But I know what I don't want to do. So that's kind of a reverse engineer kind of sense. Like, I mean, I don't want to be an engineer for sure. I don't want to be in a cubicle office working 9 to 5. I don't want to do that. I want a job for me that changes every 3 months. Like, I want a job that I want to use these little brains to create. And I don't want to do the same job for every year. That's not me. And I'm gonna be dead for that, and my soul is gonna be sucked out for sure. And I have my soft spot for entertainment business from the very young age. I love listening to music. I love watching movies. I love watching cartoons. So yeah, I want to be in showbiz. That's just my first thought, right? So, but I don't know what to do. I don't have knowledge. I don't have.
You don't know where to start.
Yeah. But I already know what I don't want to do, right? And I just want to be in the show business. This is my first thought. And I stand my ground on that. Like, I want to be in the show business. But I don't know what to do yet. That's why I can explore many options within the show business. Yeah. But for those people who kind of like explore themselves right now, I think you need a good grip of like, what kind of thing that you would like to do in a general idea, like the big bubble, and what things that you don't want to do. I think you need to do that first. I think that's my go-to. I think that from my experience, right? So I know that I don't want to do office work 9 to 5. I don't want to do boring job. I want to use my brain to the maximum limits. I want to create something new every 3 months. That's my go-to. And then I love movies. Maybe showbiz is best with me. And then they go with showbiz and then they explore in the showbiz. And that exploring is good for you. But I don't recommend explore everything at the same time, like going to finance, going to badminton, going to swimming, and then you go back to doing chess, and then you go, like, it's
eventually you're gonna
explode, it's gonna burn out at some point, because like, you still don't know what to do yet, just list out things you don't want to do.
Like
and you stay away from that. Yeah. And it's hard for creative people like you and me, because like sometimes things that you would love to do don't make money. Right? Right? But I guarantee you, it's gonna make it at the end. It's eventually worth it at your end. For example, you're so in photography. You want to be a photographer, but you don't know how. What kind of photographer am I gonna be? You get a camera, you phone camera, and go shoot something, and then you learn this type of photography is my go-to for sure. And then you're gonna explore in that area, and then you're gonna find out for sure. Yeah.
In our story and my personal experience counting, that I discovered the power of networking connections.
I'm standing here today as producer of VTV because my networking skills, like 50% of that. People would like wonder what are you talking about networking, right? Like, what is it? Networking. What do you mean by networking? Like, you go to meet people and talk to them and then you get jobs? It's actually yes.
It's making friends.
By making friends, you're making your way up to get jobs. Yes, it actually is easy and it's simple as that. So, yes, the success part of being in this industry is to do a network. By network, in my definition is, you need to meet as much people, a lot of people as you could, because I said this is such a small world in production in this industry. So you're so lucky and you're so talented, like Brian, and then your networking route is like my brother who is like the professor at time here, and then he connects you with me.
Oh, yeah,
And then
I forgot to tell. Because of him, I met my professor.
Yeah. And that's the first kind of route of networking.
Like a chain reaction.
Yeah, a chain reaction. But that's not it, because I was asking my brother like, do you have any really good photographer? Like, I really need one for my series, and then he represent you, and then like let's try, let's go, let's do it. I trust my brother, like let's try. And this is the first rule of doing networking. You need to try your best for your first try, because if you didn't do good on your first day, I would tell my brother like, can you find another person for me, like, for sure. So networking is like a trial and errors kind of situation going on. Like for me, I have jobs for people for sure, and people would recommend like, oh, you need to use that guy, you need to use that girl for sure, because I've seen them work. She's good with that, and then let's try, let's do this. And maybe the first job is gonna pay really, really low. It's gonna, the first job that you work with someone else, you're gonna stick with them forever. This is so true. And if you hire someone, or maybe you ask someone to do something for free, and it's not that good, you wouldn't recommend this guy for another people for sure, right? So this is networking that I'm talking about. Like, you go meet people, and if you're not burnt out, if you're not exhausted, you offer them like your skills. Like, I'm a photographer. I want to be a director. I want to be an first AD. I want to be a continuity. I want to be a video man. I want to be a that. Do you have a place for me? I can work for you for free, but I need your guidance. I need your experience. Because I did that. I worked for people for free. So many projects, countless of projects that I've done for free with my maximum effort, with my soul and heart put into that just for free. Because I want people to see how I'm capable of.
Because leave that mark.
Yeah, because I need to do that because I came from nothing. I don't have network in entertainment, in showbiz industry. So I need to show my portfolio to the maximum level. The situation that I can show that, it's just like, I need to work for you for free. Can you hire me for free? Please, I need to work for you for free. And I'm going to do my best for you. But the next time, if you like me, you're going to pay me for that. And that's it. This is how I get jobs, and this is how I get like things that I would love to do. But this needs a really good conversation. This is not, you cannot go up to someone and like, I want to work with you for free, and next time you pay me now. No. That is not how it's gonna go. You need to
show how passionate you are.
Yeah, your passion, your work. Like you come up to me and you say like, look at how my photos, and we're gonna have a little talk. And if I like you, okay, come to do test shoot for me. Something like that. It's not a straight line. You need to be able to flexible and communicate your passion through your work as well. So networking is really important, but how you execute your networking, it's also very important.
Okay, I got so many notes.
Yeah.
Another thing is like, what lesson you learned the hard way by doing this industry, and what kind of lesson you wish you knew earlier in your journey?
The significant lesson that I've learned
by yourself.
By myself.
The mistake, oh, he did this in front of me, so like, I learned by watching him. That's a time. Some mistake you learn by yourself.
As a producer, right? As like in
overall.
Don't be shy. I mean, you can be like, producer requires you to be an extrovert. Like 100%.
No option.
If no other option, like that's the first requirement. And I was shy, I think, like from the first really like rough years. I think like I was like, should I go tell them to do that? Should I go tell them?
I feel bad.
Yeah. Shit, we need to clear out for like 10 minutes, but we can wrap up. Like it's don't be shy. Go negotiate. Like your job is to talk with people as a producer, you need to talk with people. You need to negotiate. That's your second requirement. So don't be shy. Like I wish I could go back and fix like some moments in my life. If I'm not shy,
You have to send your
like,
phone.
yeah. If I wasn't shy, I would get more beautiful footage. I would get more story to tell.
You could have done better.
Yeah, I could have done better. Like without my kind of insecurities. Like, oh, what if I didn't tell them to, like that kind of stuff. Like that's because I was young. Like and that was because like everyone's so much older than me, and like. But if you get your job right and you be blunt at the exact beautiful moment, you can get a really good experience. Like, oh, can we please have more 15 minutes? It's gonna be beautiful, but I'm gonna compensate you with this. Can you please wait? Like something like that. Like it's. And I learned that hard way. Like, oh, I wish I could go back and not be a little shy kid. Like like yeah. And what was your second question?
Yeah, I think you cover
Yeah.
most of the
Okay.
things. And another one is what most important skill like right now as a producer?
Communication, like precise communication. Because like when you are a producer, you will give feedback every day all the time. People would come to you to ask for your feedback.
So like people like really rely on your guidance.
Yes. Like people will rely on your guidance, will rely on your decision, right? So you need to make a really straightforward decision. You need to make a clear and precise decision. You need to make even for like small production or even like for a big production. Like when graphic designer comes to you like, do you like this? Do you like that? What is your feedback? You need to be able to give a really clear, constructive feedback back to them. And I was so lucky that I was doing sort of every job before being a producer. So I know what it's like to be the guy who's working for the people I am. So I gave really constructive feedback to people who I work with. And not like, I don't want to say this is blowing my own horn. Like I think people appreciate like my feedback really well, like because like I know what I want, and I was so lucky to be able to express that to them. Like for you, for example, like you were my photographer for the set series, right? So I told you precisely what I want and what I don't want, right? So you can work easily, right?
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah, it's easier. So I think like precise communication, clear communication is the key of producer.
If you don't tell me what you want, I will be confused. Should I go this way? I mean, in my perspective, it's fine, but like in the would it be useful for you? In this angle. I mean, it looked cool, but is it usable or not? I don't know. I'll be confused.
Yeah.
Your guidance. So yeah.
Yeah.
Your
People would hate the comments like this, like it's not beautiful. I think it should. I don't like it. It's not that beauty yet. I hate this comment when I was a kid receiving comments.
Yeah.
So I'm trying my best to not give feedback like that. I give like, oh, I don't like it because can you change that to this, like something like
and
that.
also like the way of delivering your message is also important.
Yes. That's the first topic we talk about. Like this is one of like you don't want to go to a photographer and it's like, I don't like your shit, like just go take like new, I don't like your shit anymore. It's like the same message. Maybe you can change to that. Can you try that for me? And softer tone. I think that would be nice for everybody.
Okay, that's blinking. And another question is like what determines a good producer in your perspective?
I think like this is gonna be really cheesy, but I think like one of the traits to be a good producer is to be good at managing. I mean, I'm talking about financial managing, and you can you control your budget? That's gonna tell you how good a producer you are. Yeah. Can you be wise with your budget? You're correct. Like, if you got this little amount of budget, how can you work this out? That's gonna tell you how good a producer you are, right?
So the system.
And and if you get so much budget, how wise you would use that. Like it's really on you how good you using your money, right? And that one side, and then other than financial, like people, how if you get 3 people working for your project that requires like 10, this gonna tells you how good a producer you are, like how you use
You can
people
do with what you have.
yes, how you can do with what you have, how you can use people, so little people for the job that requires 10 people. How could you do that? That's gonna determine how good a producer you
Or
are.
management, financial, time management.
Yeah, everything, yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, and that comes with experience. I think like you cannot learn in that schools. Like I'm sorry, schools, but it's straight from experience. Like it's straight from learning from people.
Like recent podcast from the other podcast I listened, like they interviewed the director. The director said, these things you cannot learn in school. The school only teach you the right thing. They don't teach you the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's correct. Right, like you don't prepare your kids for the wrong thing because you cannot. Like if you're speaking for the schools, like they cannot prepare you for the wrong thing because everything that can go wrong will go wrong in on set, and you cannot prepare for that. You need to learn for yourself, like bit by bit. I'm still learning, and everyone's still learning, I think, and I think you need to be able to have your flexibility in your mind, like okay, what can we do? Yeah,
To try and
Yeah.
errors.
and no second chance for me. That's my principle. Like you can be wrong once. For myself, I'm being that hard on myself. Like I think like no second chance for me because like I cannot afford to do a mistake for the second time.
That's like very expensive.
Yeah, that's
So like you would never know what kind of people are watching my YouTube or my podcast. So I want to ask you one thing: which celebrity, internationally, nationally, do you want to work with?
good question. Celebs.
Maybe idol or
This one director that I would love to see how he works is like M. Night Shyamalan. He produced like horror thriller movies.
in Thailand?
No, it's from Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Um, his movie is really bizarre and the concept and everything. And he uses his own money to produce on films. He's the director, by the way. His movie is so different, like in terms of the huge chunks of horror genre. The concept, the storytelling, and everything, it's so different. And people who love his work, because I love his work to the heart, like me. But people who hate his work, it's like I don't like M. Night like movie for sure because it just get that. It's not like a superhero movie that people kind of get general idea like it's gonna be like that.
Usually people go like specific people.
Like love ahead, just that, and that's it. You should go look into his movie.
What his like? Give me one of his movie names.
It's a Kevin's in the Woods.
Kevin.
Kevin's in the Woods, and The Visit. And I think right now it's called The Watcher. The Watcher. Right now it's in the theater, I think. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I will.
There's 3 questions left.
Uh-huh.
Another one is like, what's your biggest goal to achieve as in right now?
I want to do good series. I wish this Monster Next Door series would be a huge success, and I pour my heart and soul into this project. I mean, like I've been doing this. Yeah, I've been supervising and actually I write like some part of the scripts as well, and I kind of help with Pi Kang Fu, the director, direct some scenes, and I was involved in this project so much that I have my high expectation, and I kind of hope that this is going really far for me, and I do hope that it sits in in the fans, like BL fans as well, because this is a really classic stories that gonna make you feel like fulfilled and
It's
just
a milestone.
yeah, and that, and I do hope this series go well. And for the like a far future, like I want to work, like I always wanted to work in Hollywood, so it would be amazing that I can work with a huge studios like Warner Brothers, like Disney, and those kind of studios. It would be great that I can get into those kind of huge studios.
I believe you.
Yeah,
You will achieve it.
thank you.
Oh, this question should be on the earlier, but we'll go. So, like, is there any film producer or any specific person that inspired you to pursue this career?
I do actually. There's this one film that hooked me into the showbiz that got me thinking that, oh shit, I want to make a movie to make people feel like me, like this when I walked out of the theater. I want to make a movie that so make people feel so in love with watching movie. I want to make people that go back and watch it again and again and talk about this movie. And this movie was in 2012. It's called Cloud at Last. It's adaptation from the book. Cloud at Last is the movie. I'll talk briefly about it, not to spoil anything. Like it's 6 stories within one movie. Feels like the anthology stories, but no. The 6 stories weave in together, linking each other. The 6 stories within this one movie use the same sets of the actors, but they change. And as the story progress, you connect like they didn't like show us like story 1 and then 2 and 3 and 4. They cut back and forth from the 6 stories.
Not chronological.
No, 6 story.
And
as the way that you kind of progress along the story, you kind of connect the 6 story together, and then you find out that the whole 6 eras of the stories sits in one universe, but different timelines and different kind of. They plays into reincarnation tropes. So you rebirth again, and then you live your life, and then you die, and then you live again, and your world that you live in. It's so confusing speaking like this, but
I might have to watch it 2 or 3 times.
It's the 6 stories that intertwine and tangle together, and the way that they tell stories is so clever. It's so good that I got like so excited in the movie scene. Like, oh my god, that one scene connect with that scene that I just watched like 10 seconds ago. And that guy is from that universe, and I feel so hyped in the theater. I was like, I love this movie so much because it used my brain to maximize my force. It's like, okay, I wish I could make a movie and people would feel like this. And that's when I want to be in showbiz. Yeah, Cloud Last.
Oh,
That's really good. Yeah.
So my watch list to me got so many watch lists.
Yeah. 2012.
Okay, so if you get to send a message to your 10 years younger self, what would you tell? What would you?
Ernie, lower your ego. When you work in this industry, you need to combine your sense of artist and your sense of logic and your sense of everything, right? And you build up your ego along the way, because I think my work is great. My photography is the best. My directing skills the best. My writing skills the best. But I've learned from a female director here in Thailand that one sentence kind of knocked me out of sense. Like when you release your work to the public, it's not your work anymore. It's everybody. So you need to be able to prepare yourself for any sort of comment, feedback, because you make your work available to everyone. You need to be able to open your heart to everyone's feedback. No matter how harsh it's gonna be, no matter how good and fulfilled it's gonna be, I think you need to be able to be humble with everything, because like if you show ego that you are right all the time, this is the way of making art, this is the way of telling story, this is the way of doing photos, you would not grow. Like you cannot grow with that mindset. Like you're definitely stuck in your best decision, best life. And it's so difficult to open your heart to such bad feedbacks. It's so bad for your mentality. So just lower your ego. Find a really good support system, your friends, your family, and when you release your work to the public, you prepare your heart for the heart's feedback.
You have to open your heart.
You open your heart. If you can overcome that, you're gonna grow so much. Like you're gonna grow faster and faster. Like allow yourself to be blamed. Allow yourself to take critiques. Allow yourself to get so harsh feedback, but not every feedback. You kind of cherry pick the one that works with you. The ones that this is true. You need to admit your mistake. You need to admit your fault, and lower your ego. And then this is actually true. Like coming from their perspective, and then you're gonna grow. You're gonna grow so much. You're gonna learn so much if you allow yourself to grow like in this way. Because if you are an artist, like everybody here in the industry is an artist, you gotta have an ego. And if you listen to people, and you kind of that's actually kind of true, right? Yeah, it's not that good. It's not as good as I thought. Yeah. And then you grow, you're gonna develop, you're gonna learn more. Like actually, and this is so true. I'm still learning, and up until today, I'm still open to feedback. Like, can you please give me feedback? Like, I want to know what's my work, right? But it's so difficult for your mentality because like it's just like you poke knife into your heart, like stabbing your heart because like, this is my baby, this is my 24 hours making of this. But you say it's not good, but you say it's not beautiful enough. It's so hard to hear that coming from everyone. But stay your ground, stay strong, find a support system, and you kind of listen, open your heart to that, and you cherry pick the one that kind of works for you. And then
it doesn't necessarily mean you need to change all the time.
No.
You stand your ground and you
listen.
Grab something that would be necessary to change.
You don't need to take like every feedback. No, but you don't need to take every harsh feedback. But you need to listen to everything, and you kind of cherry pick like the one that works for you, like the ones that you see. Oh yeah, this actually kind of true. Yeah, that one makes you feel like that, and you can grow.
Have you read that book, Ego is Your Enemy?
No.
Have you seen it? No. I think, I've been struggling with that thing, and I'll read that book. And there's like one thing I think I saw, like fast success build ego, something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really bothered me a lot, and I'm like trying to calm myself down and like being open-hearted. And I always tell myself, you're nothing this world. You're nobody. Nobody gives a shit. Don't go into that feel like don't think everybody will respect you like a king. You need to you need to be humble. You need to be like, how to say, like humble your ego.
Yeah, but sometimes ego works in mysterious way.
You need to work in a healthy way.
Yeah. So like in a healthy way, like I mean, your ego will definitely work when you get yourself into a shitty crew, like a shitty crews, shitty people working for you, incompetent people, and that's when your egos come to in good use. Like I want to use this. Trust me, this is good. I have experience. You need to listen to me. Yeah, something like that. But it's so rare, those situation.
Use it at the right moment.
Yeah. So I think like you don't need to kind of lower yourself that low. I mean like not such level of you're nobody or something. You're somebody, but it's so true that the fast success comes with a huge ego. This is so true. You're good that you have that awareness, or you're good. You're good at that, and time will tell. Your talent and your skills will show. Like you realize at the end of the day, like maybe in 2 years, in 1 year, I don't know, that you got to say something. Like, oh, actually can have my opinion on this because I actually better than you in some aspect. Let me have my input on this. And then kind of gradually realize your voice along the way. You are not gonna be nobody for the entire time, you know, like for this career of progression. You're gonna be someone, you're gonna be a star for sure. You need to believe that. But yeah, it's kind of gradually coming to you as some sense like, oh, maybe I can say that because like I've been making that mistake before, so you listen to me. Something like that. It's gonna click along the way, sir. It's gonna click along the way. So yeah.
The last final question. How do you manage yourself go through hard time? There will be a lot of setback in your life, yeah, but how do you push yourself?
I'm so lucky that I have very amazingly a very good support system. Like you need to find that in your friends, in your family, environment. Like I'm so lucky that all my friends are not toxic. All my close friends, like they're so eager and happy to listen to me when I'm down, when I got setback, when I have bad days, and, you know, like I can call them, like, can you please listen to me? Right? Yeah, your comfort zone. Like I can say whatever I want, and I can call them and like we have an hour. Can you listen? Just listen to me, like, and I'll be good. So find your support system, and like that's my go-to. And then be true to yourself. Like when you find your support system, when you find your good friends, your family, you need to be true to them. You need to be honest and open and bear your naked mentality. If you lie to them what you think, if you lie to them what you feel, that's not your comfort zone. Right? That's not your comfort zone. And you kind of suppress your feeling again to your supposed to be comfort zone. And that's gonna bubble up for sure. It's gonna explode sometime. And I think like I'm so lucky that I am able to do that with my close friends for like 20 years, and you know, like my family.
That's
Yeah, I have a mattress to fall on. Like, you know, I know that. For example, like if the series that I'm making didn't go well, like, it will not. But if it would go well, yeah, I would cry. I think I would be sad. I'll go drinking. But I'll do that with my support system, and I'll bounce back so like fast, like for me.
So the environment and choosing like having the close friends.
Yeah, people. Yeah, it doesn't have to be much like me. I have like so many close friends, but it can be just one person that can listen to you all day, and that's it. That's all you need.
What's one past advice or the recent good advice that you've done for ending this?
Ending this show. I told you this before, but I'm gonna say to the people.
Bonus point.
Everything you have done in this career path, no matter how hard it is, no matter how less money you got, or maybe it's a free job, maybe it's the one that you volunteer. If you do that with passion, with love, with your maximum effort, it's gonna pay off for sure, 100%. You never know what's coming in future. You never know people who you come across. But you will make sure that every job that you do, make the best of the work that you can do. Especially during this like first period of going into the industry. You meet people who you deliver the best work for the people, everyone that you meet, no matter how big or small the person are. Like maybe it's your friend, maybe it's your big producer, maybe it's your known big director, no matter how big or small, you going to deliver the best work. And you never knew when it's gonna go back. You never knew there might not come back to you in next week or next month, but it will. This will pay off for sure. I guarantee you.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
best advice.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I think that will be it for today, and I have learned a lot.
Yeah, I have lots of
So,
minutes.
yeah, I'm very grateful and thank you that you come along this way and sharing your experiences.
Yeah.
Like, this kind of experience that we can learn from anything except the person itself and his own experience. So,
Yeah.
and I wish your works get payoff because we, outsider, have seen how much you have put in this series.
Thank
and
you.
work.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm also looking forward in your upcoming jobs.
Yes. I cannot tell, but it's gonna be about.
Controversial. And so,
Again.
thank you for coming.
Thank you.
and
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sharing your experiences.
Okay. Goodbye.
So this is it, and see you in the next episode of my podcast.